Test. Yep. Oh, shit. All right, I think we're good.
Good?
All right, yeah.
Right, ready?
Check. Yeah, I think so. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Creative Basement podcast. Today we have a special guest, Isaac.
Yo, how's it?
So do you want to go by Isaac or the Hawaiian scooter guy?
You can just call me Isaac.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we also have Diana again.
Hey, guys.
And Kevin.
What's going on?
So, we're going to be talking about today is the evolution of GoPro. So, I got my first GoPro back in 2011 or 12. That was the GoPro Hero 3 Black. And ever since I got that, I was just so amazed by that tiny little camera that it can shoot in, I don't know, it could do 4K, but I think it was only 12 frames a second, which wasn't that impressive.
Something like that.
Something weird, right? But it did have...
It had 2.7K, which was pretty good quality.
And that was 30 frames a second. And I remember the Hero 3 Black did have cinema 4K, so you could do 4096 by 2160.
Yeah.
But you were limited at that weird frame rate, so it wasn't really there yet. So I kind of want to start off with the first GoPro, which let me just pull it out. So this is the first GoPro made in 2004. Awesome, right? Do you have one of these?
So cool, yeah. I've never actually seen one, but that's so cool.
Can you see it good on there?
It took a while to find.
I can see it.
Yeah, I bought this on Amazon. It was about $35, I think, brand new. If you got it back in 2004, it was $17 on QVC.
And that was just pictures, right? That was just
What?
pictures.
Yeah, dude, and it was it took film. It wasn't digital. And it's funny because one of the marketing things was it comes with a pre-rolled roll of film.
That's great. Cool.
That's
So, Isaac, when did you get started using? I guess tell everybody about yourself.
okay. Well, I'm a GoPro award winner. I also make videos and just create on the island of Maui. I love doing it. I started about, I want to say 4 years ago. Got my first GoPro. I started with the Hero 3 White. And I just bought it because I thought it was cool. I filmed my friends and stuff, and I slowly worked up. I now have all the latest GoPros and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, I just love doing it ever since I started. I just get out there, love shooting, and Maui, it's the perfect place to get content. It's so easy to get a whole bunch of likes on a photo. And,
So your main distribution platform is Instagram, right?
Yeah, that's my main platform. I just started on YouTube, trying to grow on there, but I did start on Instagram, and that's where I'm putting.
Okay, and
So when you started, though, did you want the GoPro for the picture aspect of it or video?
I really liked both. I think the main reason I got a GoPro compared to a DSLR was because I loved that form factor, and then I could mount it on my surfboard or on my skateboard or whatever. It was just the perfect camera for me and my lifestyle, because I didn't have the money for a big DSLR or any of those more expensive cameras. So the GoPro is perfect price range, and I could do so much with it. It was so versatile.
yeah, that's one of the greatest things about it. You can mount it literally anywhere you could think of. And I think that's a really cool thing. And then the quality is pretty good for that small camera.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect it to actually perform that well.
I know.
Yeah, it was always pretty neck and neck with the latest DSLRs. So that's kind of why I had to get one, because then if you're shooting 4K with a GH4 camera or a DSLR that's not crazy expensive, you can have it mounted. You have to buy a really expensive car mount to mount it on the outside of a car if you're shooting a scene.
You got one of those.
I did get one. The one I got was actually only, I think, $80, and it worked pretty good.
But it was 3 suction cups.
Yeah,
right?
and then we put the GoPro on that also, and it worked pretty good. But if you're making a movie on a budget, and you don't, even if you have a DSLR or a main cam, you can get a GoPro as a secondary cam, and then you can do that you could do that scene super easy.
Yeah.
Without having to worry about damaging the camera as well. And you remember like when we did action scenes, we did some crazy action stuff. We would hold like those old Sony Handycams. We would just hold it in our hand when we would film. So we do like jumping off a building or something. You're holding it in your hand trying to get the shot, and then with the GoPro, it just makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
And especially with the big cameras when you're running through like even easy shots where you're just running. With the GoPro, it's just so much easier.
Interesting thing, I remember we did a quick test with the GoPro Hero 3 Black and your GH2, which I have this video up on my YouTube channel. Did it back in 2012, I think. We tried to intercut between the two cameras to see if we could do the color grading the same. So I think you had your GH2 like hacked or something where you had like this insane bit rate. And with the GoPro Hero 3 that I had, we used ProTune to get a flat profile so we could do better color grading and to match the two footage together. And actually came out decent.
And the newer, and with every new GoPro generation, it got closer and closer.
Yeah, and now we're talking the GoPro Hero 7. So do you? I saw you messed around with one. Do you have one, or it was at a friend's?
Yeah, my friend Cyrus Carey, he's one of the GoPro family members, but he did get it just a couple days ago. We met up at the beach, and I was like, "Bro, can I test it out?" He was like, "Yeah, sure." So I tested out the time feature and like all the new. I got to see like the UI and whatever, and I was like, "Oh, this thing is so stable too," because I like reviewed the footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like so much more cool. It's amazing.
Yeah, so I was using the GoPro Hero 7. Did a quick little review on it, and so far so good, man. I love it. The time warp feature is amazing. I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we had fun.
And the stabilization is definitely good. It's kind of crazy that
I saw your guys' video.
I was like floating around.
So cool.
I don't know if you
That
saw
was
it.
on the first take too. We didn't think that it was actually gonna work.
Yeah,
and
I didn't know what was gonna happen, and then I was just started floating around. But
What the heck?
Yeah,
It was perfect.
yeah. I saw your guys' video.
What?
So cool.
so it's kind of crazy. Like, so have you ever done any hyperlapses before, Isaac? Like with a DSLR
yeah.
camera?
I tried one with the gimbal, and it's really like even with a gimbal, like I was having problems with the gimbal, and like it was like moving, and I didn't want it to move or whatever.
Which gimbal were you using?
It worked. I was using the Remoview S1,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, Remoview was saying that the gimbal will like move a little bit, and I noticed that when I was trying to do a hyperlapse with it, like even when the gimbal's in lock mode, but.
Yeah.
It worked out though, because it did didn't like ruin it. But I have tried it. It's fun, but it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Awesome. So when I tried doing hyperlapses, this was like before I used a gimbal. So I'd stick the
It was a plane.
camera. So back when I was doing trying to do hyperlapses, I was using a DSLR camera on a tripod, and ideally what you want to do is move the tripod, the same distance over a long period of time,
Exactly.
and then focusing that DSLR camera at the same point, and then you kind of composite all those images into like a time lapse, and then you use the warp stabilizer effect in Adobe Premiere. So, it take like, I don't know, like 3 hours to do, or whatever it was.
quick.
And now you have the GoPro Hero 7 where you just click record and it does a decent job.
Yeah. I know, it's so cool technology these days.
Yeah. So you said the Hero 3 White was your first GoPro, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Do you remember
My
what the
first
specs
one, I
were?
got it.
What was that?
Yeah, I got it like probably like right when it came out, because I was like, I need to get a camera or something. I was like using my dad's old camera, and I was like, it was just a simple HD camcorder, and I was like, this thing sucks. So I was like, I want to get this GoPro, test out some angles and stuff, and then like, see where I can go from there.
Do you remember what the specs were on that?
What was that?
Do you remember what the specs were on the GoPro Hero 3 White?
Oh, the Hero 3. Oh my god. All I remember was that the quality was so bad. Like, I was filming in 1080 and it just looked like worse than mine that I have. It was like so miserable. That's why like, I gotta get the next newest GoPro, which I think was the Hero 4. I think
Okay.
I got the Hero 4 Silver, and I was like, okay, finally the quality's better than my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Hero 4 Silver, that did not have 4K, right? It did have 4K, but the frame rate wasn't like 30 frames a second. Am I right on that?
Yeah. It wasn't. It was still like you could only get 30 and then 1080 at 60. But that was a lot better than my phone at these days.
Oh, yeah. And not to mention you can mount it on anything.
Yeah.
So did you actually end up getting the Hero 5 or Hero 6?
I did, yeah. The next year I got the Hero 5, and that's when I also got the Karma drone, because I really wanted, because at that point, like, I was getting a couple companies and a couple people that wanted to, like, shoot with me. And so I was like, a really good idea to try to, like, build my business, as a photographer. So I got that Karma drone, started to get aerial shots, and then now I have the Hero 6, which is just amazing quality. You get so much more dynamic range, and the quality is just so much better. You can do 4K at 60.
Yeah.
So good.
So besides, what you showcase on Instagram, like you have your own photography business, or what do you do on the side? Or what else do you do?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just a simple business name that I put to my company. It's nothing big, but if anyone wants to work with me, I give them like my business name on it.
Okay.
But, my main source of like reaching out to people is Instagram, so they know me by like my Instagram name. But yeah, my business name I just use just to look more professional, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, your Instagram actually has grown a lot. I remember, like we've sort of known of each other or followed each other for a long time, I think, right? Like it's got to be a while now, a couple years.
Yeah, you've actually inspired me a lot, though. Like when I first started, like, because I was like, how can I get like good shots of my GoPro? So, like on YouTube, like searching, and then like your videos was like,
oh, that's awesome.
The first ones that I
That's
watched.
cool.
And ever since so much, and I like continue to grow, and like now I'm at the point where like I can work with companies, and they're like starting to pay me a little bit, and it's like so cool that I started from the bottom and like
that's
here where like I can work with people,
That's awesome, man. Yeah, like you passed me in followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're like the king of pineapple photos, though.
Yeah. Actually, I was inspired by my friend Cyrus. He shot a couple photos with the pineapple, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool!" So I like started shooting it. I started like experimenting with different angles and stuff.
You got to try to work with like a pineapple company to do like a brand integration or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many different ways you can like capture a pineapple. It's insane.
I gotta show you some. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up your Instagram. Oh, I can't pull it up on here, but I'm gonna show Kevin your your feed, your IG feed.
Yeah, the colors are like amazing on there.
Yeah.
Your photos are awesome.
I try to spend a lot of time like editing my photos, making sure they're like perfect. Like I try to make sure the quality is good and the colors pop, but not like too much. Like I don't want to give it that HDR effect, but
Yeah.
I really like the clean colors.
Really like pineapples, huh?
Yeah, I know. A little bit addicted, you could say.
I thought maybe you had like a pineapple farm. You could just go,
Yeah.
let's do a pineapple pick. We'll just go pick it.
Well, you have presets too, right?
I do, yeah. I have Lightroom presets that I sell on my website.
So how
That's
does
cool.
that how does that working out? Do you get a lot of people that want to?
I actually haven't been promoting them that much. Like I think it was like 6 months ago I started it, and I was really trying to push them and try to get like a little bit more money from it, but. I've been working with a lot more companies nowadays, and I don't have enough time to like put work into like my Lightroom presets. So,
Okay.
but as of now, I get a couple orders, like a month or whatever. It's not like a couple dollars, something. It's something I want to start grow and hopefully make a little bit more money with it.
So those Lightroom presets, are they mainly for GoPro cameras? Or
Oh yeah, they are. They're all 100% made for GoPro cameras by GoPro cameras. For those type of action, Hawaii travel like vibes and stuff.
so is there a specific mode that looks better if you use that mode on the GoPro camera? Like, do you do flat or native white balance or just?
No, yeah. Funny thing is, I don't actually use GoPro flat color profile. Like, I've never used it. I've never learned how to edit with it.
Okay.
It's just like there's no colors to like correct or whatever. Like I've always learned how to like edit the colors with using GoPro colors profile.
Gotcha.
That's just what works for me. So that's what the presets are, sort of made for.
Okay. Nice.
I want to go back real quick to talk about the new features of the Hero 7 or whatnot. Remember when I wanted to get into slow-mo, how it does 240 frames now, and back when you were doing slow-mo on the trampoline, how it was like horrible. And
Yeah, so the GoPro Hero 3 Black, that was my first GoPro, like I said. It had 240 frames a second, but it was in like this really low resolution. We used it at the gym.
Yeah.
We were shooting like flips and stuff.
480, I think.
Yeah, it was something horrible, but it was amazing to capture that frame rate in that year. That, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in 2012 or whatever.
Because
it was.
normally you would need a really expensive camera that it could do that slow. It could do it in that many frames per second in high def, but you'd have to shell out tens and tens of thousands of dollars for that camera. Maybe the cheapest one might have been upper 20s. So you'd have to pull out like 28 grand or something to shoot in
like
that
a Phantom or something,
Yeah.
right? Phantom.
Yeah.
oh my god,
I don't know if it was too much. You can get one too much cheaper than that, but maybe a little less than 20. I don't know, but the GoPro gave you those frames, even though the resolution wasn't as high. You could test out shots. You could convert. You could convert it. You could do a lot. It gave you a lot of versatility that you couldn't get with any other camera, especially in the aspect ratios too. It gave you a lot more versatility than a regular camera.
yeah, we were filming
you're
like
right.
everything in slow-mo.
I know. I'm trying.
You're trying to find the tweet.
There's an interesting combination of versatility in camera and also with the mounts, because with a super expensive DSLR, there's only so much you can mount it to. There's only so much you can do. And with the GoPro for cheap, like you don't even need to buy a GoPro mount. You can take some duct tape, tape it to something and get a really good shot.
Yeah.
And get a really good shot with the camera at angles you normally couldn't get. Like even for the size of the camera, even if you had a DSLR or a bigger camera, you can't mount that underneath a car.
Yeah.
Like you could put that little GoPro anywhere. You can put it under a car. You can put it, if you're doing, especially most of the stuff I did was action related. So if you're just between vehicles, you can put it anywhere there's a couple inches, you can put it. So it's really, really versatile.
Just when Diana was bringing up that whole slow motion thing, so like just a little background, and people don't know who the hell I am. So I started doing like GoPro videos, mostly tutorials back in 2012 or so, maybe 2011. I was just so fascinated about it, and I just knew about editing, video editing and whatnot, and I saw like a lot of people wanted help on how to do video editing, especially with GoPros. So I started to like work on that whole deal. And the slow motion aspect with the 240 frames a second interested me when I got that Hero 3 Black. So I put together like this stupid video of literally just Diana smacking me in the face a couple times, so you could see my face jiggle.
I remember that one.
You do?
Yeah, I remember that one.
And then I did a bunch of random stuff in slow-mo, uploaded it to YouTube, tagged GoPro on Twitter, and I was so happy when they tweeted my video out. But then I read the tweet and it said, even the dullest moments look awesome in slow motion or something like that. I'm like, damn, whatever. At least
That's funny.
I was trying to find the damn tweet, but I can't find it. They actually tweeted
great.
2 of the slow motion videos.
They're calling your life dull.
I know.
Yeah, pretty much.
It did make it fun though.
Yeah. Can I smack you next time?
No,
again?
I'm good.
So you mentioned this earlier. You are a GoPro award winner. Is that a one-time thing, or you did that multiple times?
Yeah, I've won probably a total like 9
Holy
awards, I'd
crap!
say.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Photos or video or both?
Yeah. Yeah. There was like 8 that were photos, and then there was one video that got an award.
That's sick. So maybe some people don't know what that means. Can you kind of talk about what being a GoPro award winner
Yeah,
means?
sure. So yeah, basically, if you shoot, with a GoPro, you can upload your footage to GoPro Awards, and you can get some money for it if they pick it for an award. I basically just try to shoot for like quality content. That's really like look at other content creators and try to like create content that's like really good quality, and GoPro might pick that for an award, and then you can get some money from that. That's what I did like for the past year. I was just like focused on like trying to get really good quality like content like for GoPro Awards. One of my most famous GoPro Awards was the one that got Photo of the Day last year. It was like me flying my GoPro Karma drone, and I was taking photos, like photo every half a second.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting a POV photo of me flying my drone on the beach, and it was like a perfect day, beautiful clouds, the sand was beautiful, and I picked like the perfect photo. I uploaded it to GoPro Awards, and I got that award, and I got Photo of the Day, got some money, got a lot of exposure from it.
Yeah.
And that was such an awesome time.
So your Instagram was blowing up at that time, right?
It was exactly when I gained like 2,000 followers.
That's
in, like,
cool.
a
That's
week or
exciting.
two. Yeah.
So when
Super cool.
you upload to GoPro, to possibly win an award, they kind of say like tell a little story about the photo, right, or the video.
Oh yeah.
Was that a hard
Yeah.
part of doing that? As a creator, is like you're focused on like
Yeah. At first, it was a little like challenging. Like, what the heck am I going to say about this photo, or whatever? But,
Yeah.
what I do is I just first thing that comes to my head, I'll just write it down and put that into the description of the photo. It doesn't have to be a super complicated like description. Like, just keep it simple. Put a little like 2 sentences really of just like what the photo is, like what's in the photo, or what the photo is about, or what the photo, like what it was like for you shooting the photo, or something like that. Like something simple. I never really put that much time into it. Just something simple, really get an idea.
So what do you enjoy doing more with the GoPro, like photography or like more videos and editing and all that stuff?
Personally, I love shooting photos with the GoPro, but lately I've been doing a lot of videos because that's what companies and people that hire me, they want. They want my videos because they like my style of editing.
Mhm.
But personally, I love taking photos better because I feel like I can get a better result in a photo than a video, because like
One
a video
frame
takes
to work
a long
with.
time to edit and takes a lot of time. But with a photo, like I can spend more time on it, make sure it's perfect, and I don't know, it's just more fun for me. I feel like editing videos is a little bit tedious, but editing photos is like a little bit more creative for me, I guess you could say.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I hear like owls or like tropical birds in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, I just have more fun with photos. Okay, so Jeremy, have you won any GoPro awards?
No.
You have?
No, I haven't. I've only actually submitted one video to the awards program. It didn't get accepted. Yeah. And I did
Yeah.
submit a few photos. Those didn't get accepted either. I'm more of like the tutorial
That's
guy.
funny.
Yeah. Well, the tutorials I feel like led you into then the whole 360 thing using the GoPros, and then when the Omni came out, then you were able to use that, and you were featured with that. That's the only thing you got
Oh, yeah,
with them.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when
Cool, that's cool.
the GoPro Omni was released, they sent me the GoPro Omni as one of the first people to actually use it and showcase what it's
Wow,
about and
that's so
whatnot.
cool.
Yeah, so because of that, they also wanted to do a feature creator of the day or whatever they do
Yeah.
on their Instagram. So I did that, and that also helped me get like a bunch of exposure as well.
Yeah.
More followers on my Instagram. So that was pretty exciting.
So cool.
Yeah.
Actually, the plan was to end up in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's
We
funny.
were gonna go
But,
and shoot there,
GoPro's-
and then it didn't happen. But
GoPro's budget didn't work for that.
yeah, that was
But-
cool.
Yeah, it still ended up great. Like, it's cool working with a company, sort of like, not necessarily working with them, but that you kind of get feedback and they want to help,
Yeah.
people like you make better content.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting. And that whole aspect of being, allowing you to make money off of the, the stories that you share with GoPro, the awards, you know what I mean? So can you tell us how much they actually give you for photos and videos? I know it's public, but...
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think it's the same for videos and photos because I paid $250. But yeah, it's it's a good amount of money,
$250? Okay, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
$250.
that's a good
That's
incentive.
exactly what they pay. But it could be more because I heard people getting like $1,000 or $500, but I've only gotten $250.
Oh, man. We got to call them up and tell them
I know.
to bump that up.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, going back now again to 2012 when I was kind of getting started with putting out GoPro stuff.
Talk a little louder.
Before that you got that, I had the AR drone 2.0. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
That really crappy drone. And then I had this GoPro, which is pretty heavy because compared to that drone, because that drone it's not really supposed to take on a payload. But I managed to put together a tutorial where I had the GoPro Hero 3 attached to the AR drone. And I thought it was the coolest thing, having like 1080p awesome video. But like, it's funny because there was no gimbal, but it was still amazing because I had a HD camera in like the air and you could see the legs hanging out in the shot. But I did a tutorial on that. That did pretty well. People enjoyed it. I think I was checking it the other day. It did like 400,000 views or something. So a lot of people thought that was cool. But then
Oh my gosh.
going to you now,
So cool.
yeah, dude, it was awesome, man. That was like one of my first kind of like legit tutorials.
That was like chopstick legs.
Yeah. But then now we're going to the, what was it? Was it the DJI Phantom 1 or 2? No, the 1.
It might have been one, I don't know. But then they had the ZenMuse gimbal on it, and that's what was expensive because it had an electronic gimbal, which
Yeah.
at the time was like revolutionary.
And
I
it was
remember
expensive.
It was really, yeah. I think the drone with the gimbal was probably around $1,500. So not, I mean, it was cheaper. The only alternatives at the time were running, I think, between $4,000 to $8,000. So if you wanted to fly a camera, you're paying $4,000 to $8,000.
Yeah.
Then when the Phantom came out, DJI, another highly innovative company, they came out with the Phantom drone and using the GoPro with an electronic gimbal specifically designed only for that camera. So the ZenMuse electronic gimbal was designed only for that specific camera. I think it could do
For that drone.
Yeah, so that was the Hero 3. Yeah.
So yeah, so the drone, you would buy the drone, and then if you wanted to have a camera attached, you would have to buy the specific
Right.
gimbal that you would screw into it.
Yeah, and actually B&H actually offered, that's where I bought mine. B&H actually offered it pre-installed because it wasn't that simple. Like, I think you had to download some firmware, and then there was a little bit of complicated board connections that some people, like, because I went online on some forums, people were having a field day with it because some people were having so many problems. I was like, all right. And I think it was the same money, or possibly it might have been around the same money installed because you bought all the components. So yeah, so it was just already pre-installed, and they were coming out. I'm trying to remember now because this was a number of years ago. They were coming out with a bunch of hacks for it too, because I remember I bought a Y splitter for the DJI battery, so then you can have the drone in the air for like twice as long. Because people were modding it. They were like drilling extra space into the drone so you could have two batteries.
Oh man.
And then it could stay up twice as long because obviously the GoPro can record longer than whatever the flight time was, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Maybe 20
much.
minutes. Might have been 25 actually.
Oh wow.
So if you had put the second battery in, you'd be getting close to 50 minutes, which was pretty cool.
Now
time.
that you're talking about it now, so with that Zenmuse gimbal, it was also had a wireless. You could remote control it from the
Correct.
controller, right? Then you have
Correct,
to
yes.
attach something to the
Yes.
remote control,
Yeah.
so you could pan
Yeah.
down and up and
Correct.
stuff.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And bringing up that, like, the evolution of GoPro and cinematography in general. So before that, you'd have to be paying so much money to be getting a shot from the air. Not to mention, even if you had the money, the drones were so big because they had to carry a DSLR
Yeah.
or a bigger camera. So you had this super huge drone, which is that much more dangerous because if something goes wrong, you lose all your equipment. It's that much more expensive. I mean, $1,500 is a lot, but it's not,
Yeah.
it's not 10,000 that you lose
Yeah.
if you crash it. So I actually crashed mine into a wall. But yeah, flying them inside is a little weird. But yeah, so just really innovative for filmmaking too, because you can get almost any shot you want for on a decent, on a small budget. You can all of a sudden you can have 1080 shots, and then everything moved up to 4K. But when it first came out at the time, it was revolutionary.
Yeah, we didn't have to register anything with the FAA. You have all these rules.
Didn't have to rent an actual helicopter
Yeah, exactly.
at $200 a half hour to get shot. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what people used to do. To get aerials, you'd rent an actual helicopter, and the camera guy would sit in the helicopter and get the
Yeah.
shot.
That iFly heli guy, York. Remember York?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would get what is it, Arri Alexa? I think that's what he was getting attached to his helicopter, and this guy would
How much did that mount cost?
I don't know, but this dude when I went into California to do that 360 video with the Omni, GoPro hooked me up with the guy. His Instagram handle is iFly Heli. His name is York. Awesome stuff. He does awesome content on Instagram. But yeah, after that, I saw he started getting that huge camera and this huge gimbal attached to his helicopter.
A bunch. of
Insane.
stuff, yeah.
Well, the other interesting thing, hearing you talk about the stabilization for the new 7, I'm not sure. I haven't played with it or filmed anything with it. But if the stabilization is that good, you don't need a gimbal, right?
No.
It's good. I think it's good enough. There's always going to be room for that gimbal, depending on what's going on or what you're capturing. But for the most part, most creators are probably not going to need a gimbal unless you want something so specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's actually really good.
Do you know if it's 5-axis stabilization, or you don't know?
I'm not too sure. I don't know. But what I was going to ask was, we were talking about the drone before. So are you using just the GoPro Karma drone, Isaac?
I still use the GoPro Karma.
Okay. So they at a certain point, a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, they did a recall on it, and then it was re-released.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I actually got it before it was after it got recalled. I still wanted the drone, even though it was I was saying but I just utility in having the ability to take the gimbal off the drone and put it on a grip and have that stable handheld footage as well. At that price point, it was the best, I think, better than what DJI was offering.
Yeah, that Karma grip, the Karma grip, yeah, it was awesome. It was actually really stable. Looked really great. I bought my GoPro Karma drone before the recall, luckily, because if you actually returned the GoPro Karma, you got a free GoPro Hero 5, so I kind of made out well with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still working great. Everything's good with that drone.
Yeah, it's actually still working really good. It's not the best drone, I'll tell you that. The only reason I'm still using it is because the quality of the Hero 6 in the air, I think, is better than any of the DJI drones, like the Phantom.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I love working with GoPro footage, and I think it just looks way cleaner, and you get that super nice wide angle and I just switch it into linear mode to make sure the horizon stays nice and straight. You don't get that fisheye effect. And I think that's a really good look, especially for creating content here in Hawaii.
Yeah, it must be awesome living there, man. How is it?
It is, yeah. It's actually a beautiful day right now. I kind of wish I was out shooting right now.
Oh, sorry, taking up your time here.
I'm in a sweater. It's cold here. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's real windy out.
Raining all day.
So you do scootering? Is that something you've been doing since you were younger?
Yeah.
Or
That's actually how I started creating content. I literally just had a GoPro Hero 3, the 3 white, like I told you, and I just had a tripod, and that's all I had. I would set it to like video mode. The highest video resolution is, I think, 1080p on that Hero 3 white. So I would just film that, and then I would do like a scooter trick. And then what I would do is I would screen grab that, like the perfect timing, and then I would like edit that screen grab photo, and then I would like post that, and I did that for fun. That was like before I was like bigger than like, that was when I had like on Instagram, whatever. I just thought that was so cool that I could capture myself there doing a so like that's kind of how I started.
so you're saying you would record yourself with video and then grab the frame that you liked from that recording and then edit that photo?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I did it.
So you primarily used a tripod, or did you also do handheld stuff?
I mean, I like brought the GoPro 3 like to the beach with a grip or whatever. But that wasn't like, I don't know, I didn't have that much fun with it. Like, I think I had the most fun like shooting, just putting it on a tripod and then doing a trick and then like getting that perfect frame of me in the middle of the air with like the sun behind me and like the palm trees in the background. Like, I thought that was so cool. Like, even before I was big or anything, like that was just fun for me to do.
Yeah,
Nice,
that's
man.
cool.
So what has changed since ever since then when you first started till now? Like you mentioned, you get like some brand deals or whatnot, or working with brands. So like, what's it like now?
Well, it's still like the reason I'm doing this is still like for fun and stuff. Like it's still a hobby. It's like I want to turn this into like a full-time job or career. But as of now, still like a part-time kind of job or hobby, I guess you could say. But a lot has changed for sure for me. Because, at first I was just doing it, this huge opportunity to start doing this like as a career. Given like the opportunity to like go to college, and like I started doing college and stuff. But I don't even think it was for me. Like I wasn't like being successful, I think. And I was really just, my main focus on like success for me was like creating content and like doing what I love. So that's kind of what I did is I like started shooting photos like every single day, getting cool shots of my friends and just practicing and learning like every single day. And like as of now, like brands starting to reach out to me because I live in this like perfect place with like palm trees and beautiful sunshine. Like brands want to be a part of this island and this paradise. So I'm in this like really can like use the skills that I have to like promote their brand, a little bit of money doing it.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like trying to go after what you really enjoy doing rather than, you're told you have to go to college and do all this other BS where you really have to just do what you really care about. Don't go to college. No, we live in a different time now. You know what I mean? Like it's almost, you don't even have to do college. You can just have a passion and then just do what you want with that passion and try to monetize it. It's definitely possible. It depends on how bad you want it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yo, so you so Mitch went down to where you are, right? You guys did like a little collab?
Yeah. Exactly. Most most amazing thing. Like, and he's moving here soon, but yeah, I got to meet the guy. He's like, of course, like you and Mitch were both like the biggest inspirations for me. That's because I was searching on YouTube Pro Shots, and you guys, both you and Mitch, were like the first guys that did like GoPro tutorials and stuff. So it was amazing to meet the guy and see like who inspired me. But we didn't get to meet him. We went down to beach. So after the pineapple, we had the pineapple. Was just shooting. Me and him were just shooting like burst photos, just having fun. Like, and he doesn't talk because he's deaf. But it was just cool to like what he does to get good shots, and I was like learning from him, and he was like showing me like also be a cool angle, and like we were just having a good time. And I got a GoPro award from that day that I was shooting with him, which was super cool that a GoPro recognized that shot.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, Mitch is definitely a cool guy. I've definitely seen a bunch of his videos back when I think he started doing GoPro stuff before I actually did, but I only found him after I started doing it. But yeah, he's still consistent, making great tutorials, even with his, it's a challenge for him to create, but he still creates really good tutorials, and they make sense.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to move here. I can like shoot some more stuff with him. It's gonna be so cool.
So is he moving close? So he was just visiting that area, and then
Yeah, he was. Yeah, exactly. He was visiting for I think it was like a week or two, and but yeah, he said he's actually moving out here. I don't know what side of the island he's gonna live on, but I'll for sure, we'll meet up. We'll probably get some cool shots. Throw it on Instagram.
sick. I got to come out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys definitely gotta come out. It'll be so sick.
That would be awesome. He's from Texas, right? Is that where he's from?
Yeah, he's from Texas.
So have you, Isaac? So have you done anything with 360-degree videos at all, or photography?
I've never played with that at all. I would really love to though. Like I would love to test out that Hero Fusion. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like, being able to get like 360 shots like in a barrel. I don't know if you've seen Robbie Crawford's photos on his Instagram, but oh my god, they look insane. Where you can get like 360 photos in the middle of a wave, like so cool.
I'm gonna try to pull it up. Robbie Crawford.
Yeah, Robbie Crawford. His stuff is amazing. Huge inspiration for sure.
Oh yeah, dude, these look sick. I mean, there's a bunch to look at, but like that's one of them right there with the fusion. So you make it like a little
little planet.
Little planet.
He uses the GoPro Fusion.
That's crazy.
It's funny because like to do those little planets now, it's literally just hit record,
It's so
and
easy.
just it takes a minute or less than a minute. So when I did my first little planet video and also photo in 2015, it probably took like an hour to do because we're working with 6 GoPros. So putting that together,
You have to stitch the whole thing together. Yeah.
yeah, it's funny like going back and seeing like that post that I put on Instagram back in like 2015. Like nobody was really doing the little planets because they were difficult, and now
you're one of the first guys.
yeah. And then like going on now, it's like, shoot, everybody could do it. It's like not fun anymore.
Yeah, I gotta find the next new thing to do.
Right. I'm on a lookout.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but GoPro definitely killed it with that GoPro Fusion. It's an amazing camera,
They did.
and for that price point as well, you're getting 5.2K resolution. 4K, like you get different options, and just the software is easy to work with. Like basically the challenging part as a video creator or content creator, like the most important part is the story, right? And like the tools kind of come secondary. So now that the tools are easier to use, storytellers can have a easier way of creating this type of content. So it's kind of awesome. So yeah, I was asking. So do you have anything interesting or exciting coming up soon that you want to share?
Oh, yeah. I would love. I just started like getting into like trying to do tips videos and stuff. because I was like kind of inspired by you guys. It's like I was trying to I tried to do a like how to shoot like pineapple photos tutorial. I put that like on my IGTV.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, I wanted to start doing that kind of thing where I do tips and stuff. Because I want to try to grow my YouTube and just try to expand in general just as like a content creator. So I'll probably be doing a little bit more of that, or try to.
That's great. Yeah, trying to hit up all the different platforms is definitely good.
Yeah.
I think you do have an upper hand for being on Instagram, so that's great.
Yeah.
And that your following on there is you're almost at 10K, so that's awesome, man.
Yeah, almost there.
I'm trying to get to 4K if I get a little shout out or something.
I know, right?
Just kidding, man.
Yeah, I don't know how you're not getting bigger, but yeah.
You probably noticed.
For you.
You probably noticed I don't post as often as I used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to get back into it though, so we'll see where that goes. Yeah, so I saw you have the the Remoview hat. So how's that working out?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I actually work for them. They pay me a little bit. I just make weekly videos for them. But yeah, it's super fun. I love just shooting videos and stuff. So it's super cool that they're like supporting me by just creating videos for them. So yeah, it's been going really good. I just go out like with my friends. Like I hit them up, do like, hey, anyone want to go film today? Like yeah, dude, let's go to the beach, or let's go to the bike park, or like let's go to the skate park and just like get some cool shots, and then like.
That's sick.
Just edit a quick little 1-minute video for Remoview and send that to them, and yeah, that's how I do it. That's what I've been doing lately.
The Remoview K1, I haven't been able to play with that. So how's that camera? Like, how do you
like, it's actually it's a little fragile. I did break one, but luckily the Remoview did send me a new one. But it's actually a really good camera for what it can do. Like, it's super small, portable. You can get really nice, stable 4K video with it. And it's like basically like a pocketable gimbal that you can just like take anywhere. So I've been like trying to get cool shots, like mounting it, because it is so small. I can get like mount it on like a pole and stuff, and just get like unique angles with it. But it's actually a really good camera. It's got the same sensor as the Hero 5.
Okay.
So you're gonna get like Hero 5 quality, which is still really good. Like you can do 1080 at 120 and 4K at 30. So you can get some really good stuff with it if you know what you're doing.
Nice. So how does it compare in terms of like shooting? Compared to the GoPro? Like, is there one that's easier than the other, or?
Well, the one thing with the Remoview K1 is that it's not waterproof, so I can't use the Remoview K1 in the water, which is a huge downside for me because I live in Hawaii. But I've found creative ways, to get cool shots. Like being just on the beach or being at the skate park, getting cool shots.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually really easy to use. Probably, there's only a couple buttons and a couple of settings, same as like the GoPros. There's only a couple buttons, so it's the same, ease of use, and you get, really good quality out of it.
Awesome. And you're still using the S1 too?
Yeah, both the K1 and the S1, because I like to carry two gimbals with me in case one's like not working properly or the battery dies. I have an extra one, so I always bring both. And Remoview actually likes it when I film the Remoview K1 with the Remoview S1 and include that shot like in the edit.
Gotcha.
So I always try to get different like angles like of me using the gimbal and stuff. But I just get creative with it, get different angles, and they like that, which is good.
Yeah, I just want to say, Isaac, thanks for coming by on the podcast today. I really appreciate that. This is the 3rd episode, so you're kind of in on it a little early. So.
No problem, dude. It's so good to meet you.
Yeah, it's great to meet you too, man. Everybody, this is the Hawaiian Scooter Guy on Instagram, so definitely give him a follow.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, man. It was great talking to you. I'll probably chat with you behind the scenes, like some, in a few days or so, or a little later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let me know if you want to collaborate again. This was super fun.
Awesome,
Thanks for
man.
having me on.
Next time I'll see you, I'll be in Hawaii.
All right, dude. Yeah,
I hope so.
Nice talking to you, Isaac.
All right, thanks.
Nice
Thanks,
meeting
bro.
you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Good luck with everything, man.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah, so that was cool. First time actually talking to Isaac. I kind of chatted back and forth a little bit, DMs or just commenting on each other's stuff. He always has those awesome pineapple photos.
Yeah. They are cool.
His edits are really great too. He uses some pretty cool transitions and whatnot. So yeah. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about? GoPro, evolution of GoPro.
Yeah, there was a lot of different GoPro cameras. I remember you playing around with the GoPro 2. I don't know if you had it
Briefly,
or you were
yeah.
using somebody else's to
Yeah.
get shots. We do it in skateboard shots or go-kart shots or whatever you were doing. Then you got the 3, and then I got the 3 black too because you got it.
Yeah.
And then you kept taking mine for your 360 videos, so then I had to get the 4. Then I got the 4 when that came out.
Yeah, we talked about that in the last podcast. Like, I think I had 2 GoPros. It was like a Hero 3 Plus Silver. Oh, a 3. So a Hero 3 Plus Silver, Hero 3 Plus Black, and then a Hero 3 Black. And then you had different ones.
I had 2, 3 blacks.
And then I think I borrowed one of Brandon's
Yeah.
to get that to work. And it was funny because they do, the different models do have like a slight difference in the way that the lens works. So the stitching would be like kind of off. But it's cool though, because if it wasn't for GoPro, 360-degree videos would have been a little difficult to create. I think that made it a little easier.
Yeah.
From
What
the
you
start.
touched upon earlier, I thought was kind of interesting, where the tools are always secondary to the story or what you're trying to convey. And it's kind of been the same thing forever because, like, when I was in film school, the teachers would always say, yeah, we had to use these huge film cameras. Well, you couldn't even review your shot. You had to go in the studio, develop the film, then see if you liked it, then you might have to reshoot it. They're like, now you guys can just look at it in the camera. And now you could actually film and edit all on your phone.
Yeah.
You could do it. You could do everything in your phone. So the tools are definitely advancing at probably a much faster rate than people's ability to utilize them in the most optimal way to tell their story.
Like, is it a good thing or a bad thing that we have that
I think
instant kind of
everything is kind of like a double-edged sword because you got the pixel peepers. I think everybody's a little bit guilty of this because we kind of did it too, where you're like, oh, it's not 4K. Or what's the bit rate? Or what's what's the dynamic range of this camera versus this camera? You got to get the better camera, otherwise you can't shoot your project. Whereas I think also the older you get, the more you realize the story's way more important. I mean, you could watch an old movie shot on a VHS camera, and if it's really, really good, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And then you could watch something shot today with like a red epic, and it's really, really bad.
Not
Yeah.
epic.
And nobody's ever going to watch it ever again. But the video quality is amazing, and it's just something nobody's ever going to watch again. So I think it's a double-edged sword. And the versatility of the GoPros have made, like, creativity-wise, you can get any shot you want, especially with the drone.
I think that's why I had so much fun with them in the beginning, because it wasn't. I've always been used to messing with like big ass cameras. Like my dad had that shoulder one from like the 80s or 90s, and then
You know what's crazy though? That still didn't stop like some of those action sports people. Like, because there's video, you can go on YouTube right now, find videos in the 80s. You have surfers, skateboarders, base jumpers. They're holding that gigantic VHS camera in their hand jumping off of cliffs. So it's like when you really want to get the shot, you'll get the shot.
Yeah.
It's just a lot easier
That's
now.
true.
I know. And it's kind of crazy if you were a person in that time period working with those cameras and now seeing how easy it's done. It's like, like you were saying, you
I
have
think
it so easy.
people say that about every field though.
I know.
Yeah,
That is
everything.
true.
Everything just gets so much easier, and then people just get lazier.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you were like so in depth and so part of the creation process, knowing how every single little thing works. And now it's like you don't have to worry about anything. You just hit
Click.
record and just like
That was. I still think the absolute biggest jump was probably from film to digital video, because before that, I mean, you had to pick a certain film stock. Like, it was complicated.
Yeah.
And
And
then you had to
expensive.
develop, complicated, but you had to develop all the film. You were limited to what you can shoot. Once you went digital video, I mean, now, once it went to solid state storage, like like an SD card or a hard drive and a camera, you could just rewind, delete as necessary, or just have a second card. With film, you ran out of film that day. You ran out of film. You're
can't
not shooting,
overwrite or anything
You're
like
not
that.
shooting anymore that day. You're done. So I think that jump was gigantic, and then now we have way more jumps in smaller steps. But there's and it's constantly. I mean, you used to have to wait 2-3 years for a big generation jump. Now it's like 6 months, 6 months to a year, something big is coming out. Like right now, you're probably gonna get the new Black Magic camera shooting 4K RAW.
That's gonna be nice.
I mean, think about that jump. In order to shoot RAW, you used to have to have $100,000.
And that price
camera.
point,
Yeah,
it's $1,200,
unbeatable.
$1,300.
Yeah, for RAW.
That's what this podcast is going to be shot on in the future. Black Magic, if you guys want to sponsor this.
Get a whole bunch of them and shooting 360 videos.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea, too. That's another
360
thing
RAW.
that people do, because DSLRs have such great quality.
Yeah.
GoPros have good quality, but DSLRs is just unmatched. The lenses are so much better and whatnot. So some people put together DSLR cameras to create 360-degree camera rigs, and the quality of those are crazy. And
Well,
they actually use
especially
GH5s too.
The low light. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the
why.
one problem is low light.
Well, yeah.
So all you do is slap on some wide lenses, and then you get that overlap stitched together. And amazing.
It works.
Has anybody done any kind of like HDR time lapses with 360s?
Probably.
I haven't seen
At
any
this
of
point,
those.
maybe.
I haven't seen any.
I've seen
I haven't
like
really looked for them, but
HDR time lapses. So if they used a DSLR camera, then I guess if it has that feature, they
yeah.
probably did. But I've seen some Northern Lights time lapses in 360 using like a crazy DSLR camera. The quality is
pretty
insane.
cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool. But it's just funny to think that that camera behind me, that GoPro Hero,
Yeah.
Led to
everything.
I wanted to get the QVC thing with Nick Woodman on. I don't know if there's enough time to put it on right now, but maybe if you guys want to go check that out at home, just search Google YouTube and then go search Nick Woodman GoPro QVC, and you'll see that he's trying to sell one of these for like $17 right there. It's just funny because that's actually him on the cover. That's so funny. To come from this all the way to what it is today, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So in case you guys didn't know, I'm actually part of the GoPro family.
I should probably said that at the beginning of the podcast.
I didn't want to brag too much. I mean, like I was saying, I don't really keep up with it as much as I did with the reviews. I have a million things I have to do. Luckily, I have Diana. She helps me with a lot of stuff. But I am part of the GoPro family. I got in, I think it was like the 2015. And that was around the time I was doing a bunch of 360-degree videos. So I think they recognized that. And then we had a cool opportunity the first time to go to Brooklyn to see Jimmy Kimmel, and then we went to the that concert, the Title X concert, Jay-Z, Beyonce,
Yeah, that
and a
was
bunch
fun.
of people. That was awesome. And then did that whole Omni video. But I do have the GoPro Hero 7. I did a review on it. I got it sort of early because I'm part of the GoPro family. So if you want to guys check that out, I have that up on my main YouTube channel, Jeremy Sharapa. I'll probably have it linked up there or something. But yeah, I think we're done with the podcast. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. That was fun.
Thanks for coming, Kevin.
Yep.
Isaac, if you were still here, thank you for coming again. And Diana.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Another
Cool.
successful podcast done.
All right. Cool. Bye.
Yeah, that battery is dying. So.
Yeah, I saw it blinking.